Hey everyone, Dan here with Fanatik. Now, if you haven't been able to tell, I've been really excited about the proliferation of what some people call downcountry bikes, some people call light trail, and I like to call Aggro-XC. They're lightweight, they accelerate quickly, and they have the geometry and the components to charge hard on most of the terrain we find ourselves on. Now, the Ripley has long been Ibis's do-it-all bike. Their founder Scott Nickel once called it the best bike for the most people, and since that version, it's only gotten better. In 2019, they launched the version 4 of the Carbon Ripley, so I was extremely excited to find out that they'd be launching an affordable version, aluminum version of that, and I was even more excited when I learned that I'd be able to get to try one out. Now, as with the Ripley AF that my coworker Rich covered last year, the changes in the geometry between the Ripley AF and its carbon counterpart are pretty minimal. They have slackened the head tube out by 1 degree, bringing it down to 65.5, which has the effect of also lengthening the wheelbase by 1 centimeter across the range of sizes. Because the changes are so few, I'm not going to bore you with all the intricacies of this frame. You can check out the Ripley 4 video that I did, and instead I'm going to tell you how this bike rides and break down the 4 kits that Ibis has put together for this bike. A big part of what makes bikes like this so much fun is that instead of having 6.5+ inches of travel, they have under 5. That means that you can load the bike and pop off the trail in a way that's much harder to do on these longer traveled bikes. It's the difference between using a chef's knife and a little scalpel. The Ripley AF in particular, which uses the much loved and well-respected DW link, does a great job of moderating that trail chatter and keeping feedback down to a pretty low level despite the 120 mils of travel. A little more so than something like the Race Bred Epic Evo, which comes from the pure Race Epic, and it's a little more reminiscent of something like the Revel Ranger, which feels like a larger bike than it is. On the uphills, as you would expect from a DW Link bike, it does a phenomenal job of putting the power right where you want it at that rear wheel, and feels like it's just pushing you up the hill. As you'd expect, the same phenomenal pedaling traits that Ibis has in its longer travel bikes carry through to the Ripley AF, especially given its lighter weight. Speaking of weight, you're probably wondering how much this bike weighs. This is a slightly modified GX build, and my medium weighs in at 32 pounds exactly with these pedals on there. That is one difference between the Ripley AF and the Carbon Ripley, is a matter of 4 pounds roughly, depending on how you build it up, which clearly is going to make a little bit of difference in how spry the bike feels while pedaling. That said, this bike hugely impressed me with how well it climbed, and I did not expect it to weigh 32 pounds. I was going to guess a little over 30 before I put it on that scale. This frame does come in 2 colors, the monolith silver that you have here, this kind of nice raw color, and something called pond scum green, which despite its name, I think looks pretty cool. It has all the details that you'd expect out of an Ibis frame: internal cable routing, a lifetime warranty on the bushings in the lower link. You can fit up to a 203 mil rotor on the back, and you can fit large water bottles on all the frame sizes. Oh, speaking of large, you can put very long droppers on all the frame sizes down to the smalls. Ibis has matched this frame to 4 really well put together build kits, all of which come with a Fox Performance 34. I have a helm on mine, and they all run this Fox DPS Evol performance model. They also all come with Cane Creek 40 headsets, which is something on less expensive bikes often gets overlooked. You'll also find the WTB Silverado saddle across the board. That's one of my 2 go-to saddles, although Doug hates the saddles that I like, so I'll let you decide. And Maxxis tires throughout the entire line. Now, because we're getting this one first, I'm going to start with what Ibis is calling the NGX build that combines NX and GX components in a really smart way. They run an NX shifter and an NX chain to keep the costs a little bit down, but they put a GX cassette on there. This does 2 things for you. It lets you run a smaller 10-tooth cog on the high-speed side of the cassette, but it also lets you run an XD hub on the Ibis alloy wheels that they run. That opens the opportunity for upgrades down the road, which is something that would be harder to do with an NX cassette. They also stock a GX derailleur, which is great. They tend to last a little bit longer than the NX ones. So all in all, I think they've designed that really well. That NGX kit also comes with G2 brakes, a great SRAM brake, 180 mil rotors, and a KS Rage I dropper post, which is what I have here and has worked great. That build kit is going to be coming in at $32.99, and we should have them in stock when you're watching this video. Below that, at $29.99, is the Dior kit, which we should be seeing sometime this spring. Like I said, same fork, same shock, same Ibis S35 wheels, but with a Dior drivetrain and brakes. Now, if the Ripley AF sounds like the bike for you, hop on over to fanaticbike.com real quick, because we don't have a huge number of these in stock. If they're already gone, make sure you hit our subscribe button and turn those notifications on, so next time you'll be quicker to the punch. Just kidding. Give us a call at 1-844-FANATIC or shoot us an email at sales@fanaticbike.com, and Rich or Joseph will get you sorted. They'll figure out when they can get you in line, and we'll get you on a Ripley AF as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, y'all. As always, let us know if you have any comments below, and we'll see you next time.